Hello everyone! For our STEM Innovator project, we decided to design the Color Aided app. It largely focuses around the problem about colorblind people who could not distinguish between colors on horizontally placed traffic lights and left-hand signals. Different states in America have different regulations for their horizontal traffic lights, and this makes it harder for them to recognize the direction in which the lights are going in. The same goes for left-hand signals, in which it's only the light that changes, not the position of the light. This could ultimately lead them to slow down or brake at an intersection, which could cause a collision or even road rage. The solution that we came up with is a camera and an app that work together to direct the driver. There are many benefits to this kind of solution, one of which being societal benefits. It saves lives, it's convenient and easy to use, it reduces car accidents, and since the concept is extremely simple, it stops confusion and reduces road rage for vehicles that are slowing down. The way our app works is very simple. You would purchase the camera and download the app onto your smartphone, sync them both using Bluetooth, and attach the camera to your windshield near where an Easy Pass would go, if you have one. This would give the camera an outside access to what's around your car, and next you would load your route just as you would do on Google Maps. It would give the phone a better idea of what kind of intersections you might encounter going to your destination. Next, you would just drive as normal and allow the camera to see what color the traffic light is as it approaches an intersection. This could be very easily done because a traffic light is surrounded by a yellow cage, and allowing the camera to pick up that color and see what color is inside that would send that information to your phone, and then your phone would dictate what color the light is as you approach the intersection. That way, the driver can make a decision to slow down, speed up, or even make a turn. Since our problem is very widespread, we would need a few key partners to help us along the way. The first would be Google Maps or Google Earth, since they can tell us what kinds of intersections there are and where there are traffic lights on a route. The second would be Uber, because it helps with positioning and the frequency of traffic lights on a route, and it also allows drivers and riders to report the frequency of traffic lights at unknown destinations in an area. The last partner would be a large transportation database where we could collect our information and alter it as per changes in the road or changes in the traffic lights. To create our app, there are a few things that we would need to do. The first would be to design an app interface to see and figure out what the app would look like. The second would be to create our database for all the information that we would collect. The third would be to program the app to incorporate all the data and to design the high-speed camera to use. The next would be to figure out a way to mount the camera easily to your car. Then you would program the camera to sync with the app or your phone. And the last step would be to create a backup system that would help the phone check the information coming from the car and determine what color the light is. To design our app, there are obviously many resources that we would need to use. The first would be to get a patent for our idea. The second, to obviously research what other options are available. The third would be to get data from surveys about our problem and the solution that we are proposing. People like engineers for the camera, programmers for the code, the marketing team to broadcast our idea to the world, and a management team that would work over all these people to oversee all the productions. Materials would include anything for our prototypes to use in a focus group, and anything that we would need, the above mentioned people would need for their field. Obviously, money is a big thing because since it's a startup company, we need something to drive the research and pay all the employees. For the customer discovery section, obviously, our solution is targeted towards colorblind individuals. We conducted a survey of 10 people who were colorblind, and we asked them how many of them had trouble at traffic lights or hesitated before turning or braking at a traffic light because they were unsure about the color. And we also did a second survey in which we asked the same 10 people if they would consider buying the app or they would buy the camera to use. Many of them said if the price was reasonable, they would. For such a big invention, obviously feedback is a great portion of our work. First, we did interviews with the colorblind people to learn more about how colors affect their driving. And we also interviewed both colorblind people and color seeing individuals to see how both sets of people found it different to drive with colors, with seeing colors, or without seeing colors. The third would be a focus group with a prototype. It would help them get a feel for the product and also tell us what works for them and what doesn't. Just a few sources that we used were Google, the United States Patent Organization, obviously the STEM Innovator Canvas that we based our design around, and the Logo Maker website for most of the graphics used in this video. Thank you so much. Our app is called the Color Aided app, and this was a presentation by Param Patel, Miriam Insanali, Abina Adutwam, Kelly Herrera, and George Esposito.